Hi there. I had to have another injection today. Misdiagnosis is such a pain in the ass. And I do it to stay safe. I do it to keep from being harassed. But it's so overwhelming and so negative, entirely negative. I just want to say hi out there. I feel like I should be fighting for what's truly mine, truly my true love. I feel like I should be fighting for you by blowing the whole world away right now. And I'm so sorry I can't get there. Things are so stressful. But I did appreciate the shout outs. I did appreciate you responding to my little diss track. That was sweet. And I can imagine how many floors you must have slept on. But I think the best response for me is to continue to fight for myself so that I can fight for you. And to do that, I guess the gauntlet is to blow the world away with poetry. Anyway, just want to say I should be fighting for you, but right now I can't fight for myself. Barely. I'm trying. I've got a few shots to make it here, and I hope it all pans out. But I'm just so happy for you, and I'm happy that you're continuing to rock the game, and that you're continuing to level up and inspire in the ways that you think are valid. Like, I just love it. It's just so mind blowing and cute. And I just foresee cuddling in the future. I like so much of it. You can help me so much. Have such an incredible life. But in that life, I would see poverty a little bit, and we could try living well below your means just for fun. I appreciate you giving shots to younger people. Obviously, that's what we all want to do at this level of life. And I just love seeing how your mind works, even though I want you to push for even more clarity. But how can I say that when I can hardly myself? I'm just stagnant without you. But I feel like it's the wrong thing to just wait for you. So I don't know how I'm going to solve that little issue. Being so blocked, putting so much pressure on myself, yet having nothing to give. What an awesome opportunity in the world to be able to really have a true love partnership. I don't think you can self actualize and self realize wholly until you try that. And of course, you can trust me. That's really annoying. Imperfection. It's really got me down in the world how pro Canada the Canadians are these days, how our whole society is based on this culture of have, putting the culture of have nots through these continuous cycles. I was talking to my bestie the other night and she was because I'm like, pay everyone, just it's a digital economy, pay everyone. So we all have money. And then she's like, well, we don't have enough food. Yes, we do. There's so much we can do together. There's so much we can create together. We just don't bother because it's going on the way it's going on. And it's just getting worse and more expensive, prohibitively so. But we have to have this culture of have nots just to keep the culture of haves involved. And my sister was saying, like, it's such a elitist, dominant infrastructure. But it's not even just about food. Like, give those people without money, and maybe they'd go off and pamper themselves for a little while. Maybe they'd rent boats. That'd be ideal. I'd like to see them get out and rent cars and boats and go for tours. Change their surroundings up a bit. Do you know how overwhelmingly insane it is not to ever get to change your surroundings? Anyway, I totally loved being dissed back. I feel like on top of the world over that. And well deserved, well deserved. Rebuttals. And I want to fight for you. I want to fight for you by bringing out my heart, if that is possible, from this state. But it's going to take a while because going through something like that, misdiagnosis, imposition of terrible medicines, drugs, injecting into the interstitial fluid, into the muscles with huge vials of bullshit monthly. I need help now. I need rescuing like big time by somebody that can put me in touch with the right people, give me a shot, take care of me so that I can be sober off this crap because it's way too restrictive and it just negates my creativity. So I'm going to fight for you, and it's going to be through getting my creativity back somehow. I'm going to find my inspiration again, and I'm going to recover entirely from such a terrible ordeal. Just being forced into a culture of have-nots for being beautiful, for having potential, for coming outside the norm and wanting to actually try for more. I don't get it always, but I definitely love the way it works. It's why I want to come back in the next life as a Libra. You guys are just so nice in spirit. I could just listen for hours. You could do anything, really. It doesn't matter to me. I'd just be enthralled. I still am. But I hate to think of you there, isolated and alone. And I like to think that I should fight for you and I can fight for you. I don't agree with what I said on my last stream where I mentioned just letting things be the way they are and just accepting your decisions because you deserve better than that. Yes, and I would like to blow the world away. But that's what it is about being so far ahead of your time in a time like this. You just got to sit and watch the whole thing play out. And it's so treacherous and tragic, so limited, so unforgiving, so egotistical. I live to find inspiration again. I'm so grateful for my house. So, how could I take it for granted and not produce something of beauty based on all the gifts I've been given internally, externally? I don't know. I don't know how else to fight for you but true beauty, produce true beauty, bring it up another level. But being beside you, being able to be part of all of that, it's boundless. It's a boundless opportunity. And without being wealth centered, we don't have to be wealth centered. We could live very humbly. And there's places you can go where you can have your privacy and your freedom. I'm convinced of that. You don't have to feed the paparazzi or the isolation. I can only imagine what it's like to be part of your family. I can only imagine what I can bring to the table because there's so much. There's just so much. Right now, I have an opportunity to try and do something that's a bit out of my league, which is so frustrating because it'd be so perfect. Otherwise, it was such a vote of confidence. I'm just so glad you understand that it's misdiagnosis. That was such a vote of confidence. I wonder how many people were uplifted by that. Just so many sloppy sciences going on. So much paying of the human potential for the low cost of barely surviving. So many people barely surviving, dying of hunger. Just the slow, painful, agonizing, fruitless death that is. Lacking education, lacking creative opportunities, lacking opportunity for social engagement, and yet still trying, still coming up with reasons to smile. It's inspiring. I guess I wouldn't change this time. The only thing I would have done is not tried to blow the whistle on them dirty pigs. They were so dirty. They were hurting so many women. And they're not right now Other than the fentanyl deaths that turn into Narcan, that turn into another fentanyl death at the back of an ambulance, that turn into the cremation. That turn into the kickback. Ooh, the stuff I saw, the stuff I could see so clearly when I was right in the face of it. I just want to never have to see that stuff again. And I just want to figure out some sort of way to have a foundation that really helps on the wide scale, not just little bits, not just the deserving, just provides a platform. I have to fight for you by finding my voice again. I have to. I can't let you go without seeing me recover. I just thank you so much for your support. I thank you so much for taking me seriously. And I thank you so much for staying vivid and keeping at it. I don't even love a ton of sex. I love a ton of closeness. It would be great to be matched in that way. But I was wrong to think that it should come to me. And I don't know how that's going to pan out or how I'm going to get there from here. But I'm going to continue to wow you, and I'm going to continue to write to wow you because you deserve it. You deserve the best. You deserve the purest heart. You deserve the most loyal collaborator because the rest is just your generosity. It's just unequaled. You got to be equaled at some point. So I got to dust off this little ragamuffin heap that I've become somehow. Hard one. And wow. And find my way back to wow. Sober. I want to do it sober too. I don't want to use any crutches, and I don't want you to think I need crutches. Because I've always said it's my substitute for love. I belong in a relationship. Yeah, a real trusting, loyal, truthful, vivid, bright, exciting, loyal, devoted, like I said, relationship that really makes us sing. And I know we have that. Every time I try and say it was all in my head, I get further promptings that convince me of otherwise. So we're going into the really hot weather over the next few days. And for me, it's a blessing. For me, it's a mixed blessing without AC, but that's okay. Mixed blessing without my wheels, even though I have my license. It's a mixed blessing without mobility. It's a mixed blessing in a small town without a beach. But it's my blessing. And if I can be okay with where I'm at, potentially I can return to the pen and wow you with something that makes you say, okay, that's it. I have to. It was so wrong for me to sit here and say, If what you got is what you got, then what you got'll do, because you are in for a treat, mister. 19 tracks. That's fantastic. That's as good as Gord did on his Introduce Yourself. What Introduce Yourself was, I created this little monologue, and it was allegorical for our relationship. So he created a whole bunch more. And within that, shouted out all his loved ones too, and left last messages. There's nothing like Introduce Yourself, because that's a man faced with his own mortality, writing from that place and just creating all these little stories for me, reciprocated that kind of love that I kept showing him. So it was nice to listen to that yesterday. Finally was able to. Sometimes I can't. But I then realized that it was way less about him constantly goading me on to become better, but more about him just writing stories that were allegorical about our connection. I just want you to know I'm always going to be wonderstruck. I'm always going to be in your corner. I'm always going to be cooperative. It's not that I'm not going to be challenging at times. It's just that I'm such a unique soul and so uninhibited, that there's so much room for so much within it. It's the perfect little retirement gift, to be honest, because it's harmless and expansive. You can tell me anything. You can be candid as shit. That's another beautiful thing about it, because I'd rather die than betray you. But if I'm left to it, I'm going to have to fight for myself and fight for you. That's a wonderful blessing. This is such a magical realm the way it is, without having to go off on all these ridiculous tangents, sending rockets up into the ionosphere, pretending that Schrodinger's cat is a non issue and that we're not impacting what we see by our perceptions of it. Our sciences are so antiquated and outdated. Our medicines, our views of the cosmos, it's just dust, stardust. Trillions of galaxies worth of stardust is now what we've convinced ourselves exists beyond our tiny sphere, which is more like a spiral. It keeps growing, it keeps changing, it breathes. I'd love to debate you. Oh, I'd love to. But I can't bore you. I have to at least get my creative guns back firing so that I can bring more noise and add it to the heap, or I truly am a shell of myself and am destined to die as one. And I won't do that to you for believing in me. Bitch, I know how many floors you slept on. I do. I have a feeling you lived in the tunnels, evading such abuse. And you really have done amazing things despite that pain. That's not easy to overcome. And then only to be treated so poorly ever since. Really, ogled. Again, you're fantasized about, I guess. People want to immediately date you. That can't be easy. It's got to be so unfulfilling and empty. But we'd go fishing and, like I said, take long walks in the wilderness, plan things. Have you ever been skiing even? That's what I wonder. Have you ever been skiing? I want to see you live a full life and try everything and go everywhere. Micro lending the extremely impoverished in economies based in shit. I'm going to sit up tall and sit in my high chair and figure something out. I promise you that. So I can wow you because I want to fight for you. I don't want to just wait and see. I'd rather die. I'd rather die. That's not fair. It's not fair to you just because you hold all the power. Kind of, you do. You got the ways and the means. There must be such a buzz around there right now. You must be so busy. Inwardly, I'm sure you know it's fire. So you're not really fretting or stressing it. But there's got to be a buzz. Be so awesome. Waking up in that creative flow. I'm so proud of you for doing that from a place of isolation. Do you know how hard that is? And your muscles well developed. I hope it is. But I honestly don't care. It's still going to be hot. Closeness is such a blessing. Anyway, your tastes are so refined. I just I hope you get to the peak of your expression there and just refine your tastes even more. It's just a blessing of you being a Libra. So I'm glad you have your choice. And I'm glad you have your health. You're so healthy. I'm so grateful you've put that first and foremost. Even to be able to talk to you like this when you are so hard at points. Who do I think I am? I don't know. I'm in response mode. But the things I could bring out if you did give this a chance. Just make you such a man. Just bring you to such a level of being a man. It's better than being a recluse. And this isn't really fighting for you yet. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. I just know I have to. But to do that, I have to fight for myself. I can't give up. I have to take risks. I have to have faith and pray against all odds. I have to keep those vibrations clean. And find a way to reaccess my access to healthy opportunities. That's not going to happen here. But wish me luck on Thursday. I've got lots of students lined up. And I've just got to master a really difficult form. Stick to my guns, stay with it, apply it. It's just like, why when it's so easy to shoot the breeze? Get creative and think on my feet. When my creativity is just non existent, I used to be able to channel. I used to be able to pull from all sorts of places and ride that high and that wave. I just loved it. And I was so safe. Like, I wasn't diluting anything. Everything I created was so beautiful and meaningful. So I'm going to find a way to get rid of the timid little bird energy that I am stuck in right now and make waves in case they reach your face. Splish splash you off like a little tiger, like you are. Doesn't mean you don't deserve a little psh in the face. Anyway, I don't want to be overtly over nurturing. Just to hear you laugh in the background, doing other things. Just to have you turn that playful rhythm into what I already know is a thing. And that goes for everyone. Being in true love is greater than being entertained. And you can't expect it in your life. It happens to you, whether you want it or not. It's not something you can demand. It's not something you should expect on repeat. That's codependency. My throat betrayed me. I almost choked on myself just then. Anyway, I'm about to break down. It's certainly stressful times, but I'm just going to wing it and go for it. Follow that routine. Ask for support. Make ends meet. Take risks. Find creative inspiration again. And write that which is in me. I didn't mean to diss you, but somebody had to. I feel so silly. Dreaming of something seemingly impossible, but so natural, so fruitful, so whimsical. I could cut it short early today, or I can continue because you're so busy. When are you going to need help sleeping again? Sorry, that's rude. Yeah, I can just tell how busy it is around there today. But I already know you're above it in a way that needs matching. And I would never dream of embarrassing you. Like your your clout is so on fire. You hold space like no one else. And I could stay hidden. I don't even have to be in the public eye. You'd have to groom me for that anyway. Just do it exactly the way you'd like it. It's better than living without it because, like I said, it's got its limits. The whole game has its limits, and you have superseded it. That's why you talk about the same stuff all the time. But it means you're healing and it means you're growing, and that's amazing. Like I said, that doesn't change. That you are putting that stuff behind you and opening your heart to more is such a blessing. Thank you so much for saying that. Misdiagnosed. Again, you could have said anything rude or hostile or biting, but that was so supportive. What do you do for fun? What do you do when you're dying to let off steam? What's your favorite sport? Do you golf? And if so, please let's go. I don't know. I've always had these programs, drive the homeless to the beach kind of deal. I just can't stand this income disparity in a realm where it's a digital economy. Like, it's not even based in funds anymore. It's just based in the transfer of wealth. I'm ready for a shakeup, that's for sure. Maybe that's not something you can get behind, but I'm sure I can write a story about it. My sister did. Her second novel's finished. And her editor said it's the voice we need today. So that's inspiring and encouraging. Anyway, with so many people wanting to be you, wanting to be around you, I'm just here to remind you that equals are a special blessing, not to be forsaken lightly. Even though it's a pipe dream, most likely, that I aspire to nightly. And so forthrightly, with all my bright light and might. It's something I'm going to fight for. Yeah. Not for any other reason. Not for any other reason than to adore you. Not for any other reason. Like I said, we can have seasons in just mild mannered comfort. Like, we don't even have to go over the top ever. Just to see you smile, just to see you always in that state of enthusiasm. Just to feel so loved. It's a far cry from bringing my true love back to life, isn't it? Isn't it? That's what they were all scared I was going to do. But we're just coming back in our next life. And he's behind the veil helping me until I get home to him. And we can come back and say, we were them. And this is our love story. And we're going to continue that flow of creativity. Just like Jesus did, he came right back. Not in 2,000 years, he came right back. Came as the Son. Found his apostles or disciples or students or whatever, and retaught how to surrender to your own highest good. He retaught what it's like to have the Holy Spirit in your matrix. He retaught what true self-confidence and true humility was, true power. And he fell in love. And he had a bloodline. And people preserved that. Only so these guys could tear it all asunder. Just make a mockery out of the entire living mechanism. And then there you are in the middle of it with so much refined dignity and grace that's potential within you. I have to fight for it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So thank you for listening today. And like I said, it must be such a buzz around you right now. You know, I'd give anything to be there, but I can't say that. That's not something like I can say because it's weird. Marshy Jubilee. You really, 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 really pushed me. Marshy Jubilee. Could it get any more sweet? I'll let you go for now. But like I said, I'm going to fight for myself. I'm going to find my way back no matter what. And I'm going to take care of myself despite the burden that's been placed on me. Okay. I'm here. I'm here when you need me. But until then, nice dis. Nice dis. Enjoy the buzz. And thanks. Thanks for just coloring outside the lines for a bit. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Love you lots. Thanks for listening.